Hello, welcome to episode 19 of the Joystix Canada Gamescast. Jesus Christ. We're a group of Canadian guys, Richard included, even though he's giving me the finger and slicing it off with his fake finger scissors. We grew up in the 80s, we blather on about video games and other nerdy stuff. So we're recording this live on Tuesday, October 13th, but if you're not watching it live, hopefully you're either watching us on Twitch or YouTube, or we're also on, I think, every single podcast service that there is. There's probably thousands now. I'm assuming we're on all of them. I'm just going to say we're on all of them. If we're not, let us know. Anyways, I'm here with Richard, obviously, the guy that was giving me the visual finger and the salute. John and Centenario. Centenario.
Can we just say that it wasn't funny the first time when there was no audio, and it's not funny the second time?
The thing is, Richard, it makes me laugh.
By the way,
that's important. That's the only thing that's important, is that I'm laughing at myself. I don't care if anyone else finds it funny.
Fantastic.
I think you. Okay. Anyways, so just a little disclaimer. This guy right here, I'm pointing at myself, by the way. Completely messed up some audio, so we're kind of just winging it at this point. We recorded a little bit, and it's just completely unusable because I'm an absolute moron. So we're just gonna move right along because I did want to talk about VR, and I think everyone has been getting a little bit VR crazy lately, and it's, to be honest with you, I think it has a lot to do with the Oculus Quest 2 being released. Not necessarily because everyone wants one, just because of it being released, and Richard's literally putting on his Valve Index. Nerd. But I kind of want one. He's like, yeah, you want one though, and we're like, yep.
We all know that. He's got Pornhub loaded.
But yeah, seriously, we've been. I think a lot of. You know what it was? I think it was Star Wars Squadrons coming out. That was kind of like the big, resurgence or whatever you want to call it of VR. Like VR hasn't really gone and died. It's just like there's never been like a Mario 64 level system seller for VR. It's like Half-Life Alyx was probably the closest that it'll ever get, at least for the foreseeable future. But I don't know.
So, as the guy wearing the Star Wars T-shirt, who's super into Star Wars, you want me to tell you the 2 Star Wars reasons why you're going to get into VR this fall? One, you said Star Wars Squadrons.
Well, Vader Immortal?
But my other buddy just told me that Blade and Sorcery, which I don't have, but is a phenomenal game, apparently, just released a Jedi expansion pack where you literally take a lightsaber and just stab a dude through the head and then force push him off a ledge.
I want to do that to 10.
Yeah. Right? You just want to put a model
Wonderful idea.
in the game and then
wonderful. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah.
I kind of do.
So I'm going to be buying that, and I will let everybody know how that goes.
As long as I can VR lightsaber stab everyone in the room, then I'm happy.
Sure. You don't.
You just want to be Anakin, and you want to kill all the kids in the Jedi. Where was that again? That was
the younglings.
The younglings.
Jedi Temple.
Come on, you gotta
That got a little
exercise
dark,
your.
That was messed up.
Come on, you bring out your dark side. Gotta do it.
That's a bit too dark, John. You took it.
Hey, come on! I'll get my electricity fingers out and everything.
You took your Valve Index electricity finger. You can't use individual electricity fingers without the Valve Index.
Actually, because the Valve has finger tracking, whereas the
you can't
doesn't.
You're right.
Didn't you hear what he said?
I did hear what he said, but you
finger
can't
tracking, so I can lightning force.
You literally can't murder children.
Oh,
You literally can't murder Jedi children individually without the index. It's only a slaughter instead of.
Put that on the back of the box. That's all I'm saying.
It's a feature, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll buy it then. That's a system seller.
So the Oculus Quest 2 came out. It's I think it's been well received, right? Like it's a good piece of hardware.
So that's the thing. Okay.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong.
Oh, really?
Okay, Donald Trump. So literally every single review that I've read so far, I'm sure it's been the same with you guys, has been every single thing about the Oculus Quest 2, phenomenal, great, incredible, but you have to have a Facebook account and be signed into it. Nope. It's like, oh man. And the more I've been thinking about it, the more I've been thinking, how much is a Facebook user worth, if you know what I mean? Because that's one of the big reasons I think. Obviously, they did some cost-cutting measures, but like the tech behind the thing is still phenomenal. It's like the resolution-wise, it's higher than the Index. Index still has a higher refresh rate. The build quality of the Index is obviously better. It's 3 times the price, so I'd hope so. But even with all that taking all that into account, like the fact that the Quest 2 is $400 Canadian, which is insanely cheap. It's like you have to almost factor in, okay, Facebook's going to be tracking God knows what about this thing. How much is that worth, right? And it comes back to that whole if you're not paying for the product, you are the product thing that they always say. I think it was even in that goddamn Social Dilemma movie. They even talked about it in that.
The way I think about it is like, imagine if you bought the Oculus, and then it came with a physical human being that just sat with you by your side and with a notepad and literally just analyzing everything you're doing, from your eye movements to how long you're looking at things, to if you're clicking on things, to how you're scrolling, how you're moving the controller, everything. Like, you'd feel that that'd be intrusive. No one would want that, and that's exactly what's happening.
Is the person hot though?
Except it's just digital. Digital.
Can I just say, don't assume that Valve isn't taking notes on the things you are doing as well, right? They are not, they have economists on staff, right? Because
Richard, did you sign? Did you read the terms and conditions that you obviously scrolled through when you hooked up your Index?
Nobody reads the terms and conditions. No, I'm banking on the fact that I owe everybody my firstborn child, and no one's gonna get her. So the point though is, like, if that's the reason you're not gonna get the product, I got news for you. Chances are, like, every service is doing that.
Yep.
No, it's not necessarily the fact that they're doing that. It's that, why does a social media company want that from my gaming? Yeah. Like, Steam is just gaming. They're going to use that data to better the gaming experience.
That's true.
Well, you hope, right?
You hope. Obviously. Like,
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Steam was in the news about, a third-party, company being infringing on the terms and condition and privacy and snatching.
Oh yeah.
You never hear that about Steam.
Yeah, Gabe hasn't been brought before Congress for privacy breach or whatever.
Exactly.
So, like, Steam's end goal, I'm hoping, is a little different than Facebook's end goal.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's what, at least. And I already have a Steam account that's attached to games. It's attached to my gaming email address. It's attached to not a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where Facebook, like, they apparently, from what I was reading, like, they'll even track if it's they'll see if it's a fake account or whatever that you're trying to create for it.
Well, I almost kind of understand that though.
Like,
that part, I'm like, well, yeah, I get it. Like, I'm actually glad they're doing that.
Social, that's the kind of games they want to play, right, on that thing.
But I'm actually kind of glad that they're, like, banning fake accounts. I'm like, well, yes, good. Like,
yes, yeah, I understand that, but, like, the reasons why I want a fake account is different. Why they would want to ban.
I know. But you can understand why they're like,
yes,
don't do that, please.
So,
have you put anything in that front expansion slot yet of the Index? So there's like a front expansion.
Which is like, of course. Wait, give me a second. Is there one?
You talking about this?
Yes,
This thing here?
that thing there.
What fucking goes in there? I don't even know.
I have no idea. I was just curious if you've tried to put anything in there yet, or make something, or
Like
I don't know.
my dick? Like, what do you
Don't
want me
put
to
your
put
dick
in
in
there?
there. Yeah, do not put your dick in there.
It's a USB port.
Actually,
fuck
maybe
up the
maybe that's
hurts
where you put your
and
dick. Is it a USB
refresh
port?
rate.
It's just a USB port.
So,
Weird. What the
Like,
hell is that for?
so
I don't know.
because Valve is
Expansion,
really about,
expansion port, I guess. Whatever.
So because Valve has they've made this VR set for people that like to tinker, for people that like to make things. And you can, since it's got the USB expansion slot, you can expand that out and you can take things and tinker with it.
Like add
So
more
I'm-
tracking to the head or something.
Honestly, I have no idea. I'm sure there's endless opportunities to do it.
Well,
I would love it. Like if you could take a Raspberry Pi and attach it in there and then have some additional augmentation
oh,
to Raspberry
dude, that would
Pi.
be cool. Because
That'd
those
be pretty
those things weigh like what, a few grams?
What, a Raspberry Pi?
Richard's like, you mean like this?
You can get a ton of different like
You mean like this
accelerometer
thing?
modules and like a lot of sensor modules and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
there's-
don't quite fit in that particular spot.
Just
but-
don't let your wife walk in while you're like,
Nerd. What did you have that in your pocket? Like,
yeah.
It's sitting here next
Are you
to
just
all
happy
my
to?
other
Is
shit.
that a Raspberry Pi in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me?
Yeah. For those
Said-
who are
said
looking
no
to
one
have
ever.
their own experience,
Said no one
I have
ever.
A Raspberry Pi 3. I've loaded up thousands of ROMs onto a USB drive or USB
is
whatever.
that a Raspberry
SD
Pi
card.
or a blueberry waffle? Was it?
Oh, don't go down that rabbit hole. Don't.
I think I had a blue waffle at the most recent lemon party that I went to. That was a weird afternoon.
This
So we.
episode, this
Again,
episode is fucked. This episode
another-
is fucked.
Again, 2 more rabbit holes. Do not go down them, folks.
So
You'll be scarred for life.
consensus is there is no consensus. I don't think at this point. It's if you don't give a shit about your data being raped
Of course
by
there's a consensus.
Facebook. If you
There's
don't
a
care.
consensus.
Okay, so listen.
At this
I'm
table,
listen.
there's a consensus. At
Listen.
this table,
Correct. Exactly. How many here own VR?
so
I
don't-
did until
VR
about
that
2 weeks
I do
ago.
want to get is the index. I do
I've
want to
owned-
get an index.
I've owned
that I will go
VR.
for. Oculus can go
Definitely
away.
get an index.
Don't use Facebook. Never want to use Facebook. So bye.
Consensus.
Yep.
Well, that's
And
okay. So
everything-
that's the
and
consensus,
everything,
though,
All
right?
the recommendations for iRacing is index because of the frame rate.
Oh, I'm
More so
not-
because
Refresh rate.
Yeah,
there's
I'm
a
not.
lot. So performance and specs a lot better for index. So
Yeah, I'm not even It's not even an argument. Like index is like the best it can get. It's the best there is. It's not even like, oh, but I prefer this element of the Quest to. I'm like, no, you fucking don't. It's not as good. It just isn't. It's like comparing a 3090 video card to a friggin' 2070 Super.
Yeah, what a shitty video.
Anyways,
minute.
so guys, let's change the subject, shall we?
Hold on.
So no
I
one
just
can
got a
rebuttal
question.
that.
So how are those cameras that are on the index? Are they?
The
Good
inside out
resolution.
tracking?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Do you have
I
the
don't-
little dealies, the satellite
Yeah.
cameras as well?
You want me to grab one of those too? Yeah. It's
Oh,
right
yeah,
here,
well, whatever.
and there's one back there on the beer fridge next to the Switch.
Oh shit!
So
Can
yeah,
it do?
I
Can
had
it?
them,
Okay.
I had them set up across the room, and so that's kind of my play area.
Yeah.
It's not huge, but you know, it's a good
That's
size.
what she said.
It does the trick.
It's a good size.
Um,
It'll give me babies. What? That has
yeah,
nothing
so
to do with
The
VR.
inside out tracking is really good. The safety zone marking is really good. I've got an alarm on it so I don't punch my fucking TV, which I did the first time.
Does
I
it have
had
it?
and-
It has that on there.
Ouch.
Oh, really? You were one of those, eh?
Oh yeah, I punched the
That's
shit out of it.
Nice.
Super hot.
That reminds me of
Super
like
hot.
Wii remotes, like when the Wii was first coming out.
Yeah, John,
I
tell
nearly-
everybody about that.
I nearly nailed Dance TV with one of those remotes while we were playing Wii
Oh,
bowling.
nice.
It was-
Amazing.
And
Yeah.
you I still have a picture of you smashing one of my
Oh, the glasses. Yeah,
my
it's
UEFA
fantastic.
2004 UEFA glass.
Hey
Carlton.
man,
Hey.
I'll never let you live that down. Yeah,
I will also
You got Nick.
replace it for you. So
I'm
hey,
just
you know,
messing with
it's
you. I
also
don't
that-
care. It was literally a free beer glass. So I'd like to know what everyone's been playing lately. Let me get mine out of the way really quickly, if that's okay. I don't know if I think Nick actually was watching me play this recently. I got back into the Tourist lately. I don't know if anyone's played the Tourist. It's a free game on. It's a free game on Game Pass. Apparently, it came out on Switch, a little while ago. Like, it was on Switch for a while, and then it got ported to PC and Xbox, and it was free on Game Pass for Xbox and PC. The game, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a very, very pixely, 3D kind of open world action adventure kind of game. It's very, very like kind of goofy character models and everything, but it's such a fun game. And it looks a lot better than you would expect a game like that to look.
It's incredible. The lighting looks phenomenal.
The lighting and the audio and the controls are all super, super tight. Last night I actually beat the game, and then actually went back and 100%ed the game. Like, that's how much I liked it, and I do not 100%. I do not 100% games basically ever. So that's kind of a testament to how much fun I had with it. That being said, it took me. I actually looked at my play time, and it was about 5 hours. So the fact that you can beat and 100% a game in 5 hours. But that being said, not a single point of the game I loved every minute of it. It was so much fun.
It was a tight 5 hours.
Yeah, every bit of the game. Like, you go to about, I think, 8 different islands as this like guy, and you get on a boat and you go to each island and you do random things on each island. And like, each island they're pretty small. They're pretty small, but there's like kind of kooky, fun little things to do on each of them. One island, for instance, I'll just talk about this one, but you actually go into an arcade and play there's 3 different games that you have to beat this guy's high scores in. And one of the games is literally an F-Zero clone. One of the games is very similar to one of the games is literally an Asteroids clone. Or not Asteroids, Arkanoid clone, which was a blast. And then the other one was kind of like, I don't know, kind of like Balloon Fight a little bit. But it was just insane playing like these 3 arcade games within a game. That, yeah, it was a hell of a lot of fun.
I like the graphics. The art
Yeah,
style's amazing.
it looks like if Crossy Road actually took time to do graphics.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one game. I didn't even remember it now. I didn't remember the name, but yeah, Crossy Road came to mind because I played. They had a Disney version of Crossy Road, and I was like, the kids will probably like this, and I ended up playing it more than the kids did because I was like,
it was good.
Yeah.
I like the old style, but with like the new physics.
Yeah.
Like
the
destructible things and like the rope physics, but with the old art style. Like, I love that. And
you unlock stuff like gradually throughout the game. Like, you unlock typical stuff like a double jump. Now you can double jump, or now you can run. Now you can do whatever. It's like everything felt really, really perfectly paced throughout the entire game. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Cool, and the price is right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Ta-da-ta-da!
Game Pass. Richard.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, sir?
So I got through my handy local library, picked up 2 games: Ghosts of Tsushima.
Never heard of
which, it. It's Sushi Mama. So you're
Sushi Mama, sweet.
It's like Cookie Mama. You make the sushi, you serve it to order.
Yeah.
I've played maybe like 2 hours of it, and it's phenomenal. It looks incredible. So I think probably what's going to happen is I'm going to try and forget about it for the next 2 weeks for my 3-week rental, and I'm just going to pick it up when I get my PS5 because I think that game is going to really benefit from better load time, smoother frame rate, just whatever other bells and whistles they can throw in there.
Are they planning on doing like a day 1 update for it?
I don't know. I think I might just use this boost mode that they've been talking about. where
Well,
they'll boost the frame rate and everything. Yeah, I don't think there's an actual like PS5 update for it.
I was gonna say like the fact that it's a first party Sony game, they're definitely gonna get priority over everything else for like that kind of, you know, optimized for PS5 type stuff. You know, like if it's a first party Sony game, you can almost guarantee, like Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, they're gonna be the first games that benefit from the better hardware.
Actually, before I send it back, John, you and I should play some multiplayer because this coming weekend, October 16th.
I knew it was close. Yes, October 16th.
I just looked it up. So there's a co-op game, there's New Game Plus, and multiplayer expansion.
Right on, man. All right.
So I do some co-op with you.
I'll do
co-op this coming weekend.
Yes. Sunday. Sunday when I'm not too in the bag.
Sounds good. And then just to completely fucking counter that, I downloaded a mobile game because the App Store showed me things, and I was, I guess probably under the influence of alcohol. But it's a match 3 game, but for Harry Potter, called Harry Potter Puzzles and Spells.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's check this out.
It's a cool twist. I mean, it's microtransactioned up the ass, of course, and all the gotcha timers and draws and all that sort of stuff. But the actual act of playing the game is well done. So the twist is, of course, first off, they've got these cutscenes that are animated, but super well done. The animations are really fantastic. And then what you're doing is when you're matching, you're triggering off special spells or something that kind of change the play field. So not entirely different from other match 3 games, but when you put the Harry Potter wrapping on it, it looks and plays really, really well. So if you're looking for something to kill the time on the toilet, that'd be the one. You like that? Kill the time on the toilet? I don't know how about you, but in your old age, time on the toilet.
What's your time on the toilet game of the week?
Up about 80%. Oh my god, we need that section.
That's Gumballs. That's Gumballs and Dungeon. Gumballs and Dungeons.
Save this from now on. Every time
save that, and we should have that every week.
Oh my god.
What's your time on the toilet game of the week?
Time on the toilet game of the week!
To the iOS arcade gods, and I will try
add it
to find the time on the toilet.
The show notes for every single show going forward. Richard's time on the toilet, game of the week.
I just read Reddit a lot. Reddit is my time on the toilet.
No, man, you need to tap.
Tap.
I'll get Mike to make an audio clip for that.
Oh, that'd be really good. You want a soundbite for it?
Richard's time on the... No, it's better if it's someone else.
I'm not walking into a strip club. Okay, you know what? Yeah, all right, fine. Let's do the strip club thing. That's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
And then Among Us and Phasmophobia, which I keep misremembering as Phasmagoria. I picked up those 2 games. I haven't played Phasmophobia at all.
Phantasmagram.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it any good? I haven't tried
Phasmophobia yet. We're gonna play it on Thursday. I've got a group of guys that picked it up as well. We got space for one more.
Are they okay? The one thing with that game is apparently you don't have to play in VR.
I'm not planning to play in VR.
Oh, you're not? You have VR, and you're like, no way. I'm like, what? No. Why wouldn't you?
Horror games in VR? No, I don't.
But it's a multiplayer. See, I'd actually play that in VR because it's a multiplayer game and it's like goofy
I'm
fun.
Old enough. No, I'm old enough such that I can poop my pants on my own. I don't need VR to assist me in this.
I forgot you're 79 years old. You look really good for your age, by the way.
Thank you. It's the squats.
Now, John, I noticed you had a certain game in your list there. Sorry, I need to say something. I actually forgot one game that I played last week, and it was Darksiders Genesis.
Yeah, tell me about it, Dan.
So
tell me about it.
It's an interesting game, man. It's not quite Diablo, not quite twin stick shooter, but somewhere in between. Sorry, it's a weird game, right?
So I like the humor. I like
Yeah,
the
it's
plot. I like
pretty
the characters. Funny. What I don't like is the friggin' camera angle.
Oh,
like,
dude. Let me rotate that
me
goddamn
nuts.
camera, you sons of bitches.
Let me control. If I want to be right behind him, if I want to be like top-down view, give me something.
Yeah.
This one perspective, I'm cut off because I can't see enough of what's coming at you. Yeah. But because you're like dead center in the screen, right?
So for anyone that hasn't played this, it's like a third-quarter perspective view, like Diablo 3. Yeah, but I would say it's like super zoomed out compared to Diablo 3.
Yes.
But unlike Diablo 3, actually, holy shit, I actually can't remember if you can rotate the camera in Diablo 3.
You can scroll in.
Good lord.
You can zoom in.
Yeah, but you can't rotate the camera. Okay, so similar to Diablo 3, but somehow Diablo 3 has like perfected the fact that when you're behind something, you're never behind anything. Yeah. You can always see your character. Yeah. Whereas Darksiders Genesis is like, and
so you get a silhouette.
Yeah, you get a silhouette, and you're like,
but
what am I seeing? I can't see anything.
I can't see anything. Is that a barrel? Is that a box? Is it breakable? Can I jump on it? No. Yeah. No. Can't do any of that stuff.
Yeah. That being said, the game is surprisingly deep. There's like I've literally only played. You've probably played a lot more than me, John. I'm sure you can talk about that. But like I played it for maybe 3 hours or so, maybe. Like I've unlocked the 2 guys. I've like.
No, yeah, I think you're further in than I am. So.
Oh shit! Okay.
I've only played like about an hour's worth.
Is this not multiplayer?
It is. It is multiplayer. I think it's 4-player co-op.
No, how the fuck are we not all playing this?
Is it online? Is it online or local only? It's on Game Pass.
Yeah, 4 horsemen just riding off into this thing would be fucking awesome.
That would be, but because I think.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna check right now because I think.
No, because Death isn't there, and then. Well, we've got Strife, we've got War.
Strife and War are the 2 main guys that I've got so far. Good old THQ Nordic.
Yes, fantastic.
Online co-op. There's online co-op, but it's only 2-player online co-op.
Yes, 2-player, because you can only play as Strife or War, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Does it though? Really? Does it though? The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse?
Well, does it make sense? No.
Your brother and your sister are like the other horsemen are no longer in the picture. Like where they left off, Darksiders 3, it's kind of you gotta.
Yeah, you loved all the Darksiders games, right? Like all 3 of them. I think you've beat them all, or played them all at least.
I haven't beat the 3rd one yet. I've played through portions of Darksiders 3. I gotta get through that.
They're solid games, man. I don't know why I never got into them. They were just like solid fucking like polished beat 'em up AA games. That's like the perfect AA game. Like it's not an indie game, it's not a huge AAA. It's like this is a perfect like.
So they.
You know what, Dan? Your problem was my problem years ago when I used to do unscrupulous things from. Copying with burners and making discs and stuff. Is your backlog is too large, and despite a game being good in quality, and why did I never get into it? Because you had too much backlog, and you couldn't dedicate enough time to really allow yourself to fall into the essence of the game, right? By the time you've gotten into it, you're like throwing away tens of hours, but
you're like, okay, done with that. Next.
That is 100% what happened to me with Darksiders, the first one. I think it was like PlayStation.
It's a totally fine game. The game was totally good. There was nothing wrong with it. It was a fun game. Yeah, next, I want to play something else. I'm like, fuck, man.
I would say the one aspect that I missed from that I'm missing is the character development, like the RPG aspects of it, where you can say, all right, I want to be able to change my guns, change my armor, upgrade my stuff. Or gain this new ability to go through. It's kind of like a preset. You've got this amount of stuff. You've got these skills and attributes, and then you go run, have fun. So that's the part that I'm missing right now. It
is a different style.
Yeah, for sure. And then on to the next game that I've been playing. Well, it just got it today actually, and loaded up this afternoon. Was the Survivalist. So by the same developers that did The Escapist. I don't know if you guys ever played The Escapist.
Yeah,
I probably own it on 3 different platforms
Yeah.
on PC, and I've never played it.
I played it.
So the escape was like a fun little universe. This is more of like a survivalist aspect where you have to do things like build your own base, craft different tools and different weapons. You can run around and make friends with monkeys that are on the island. It's 4-player co-op.
That's a
And
plus.
then you get to run the gauntlet too. So if you want to test your might, test your new weapons, you run around and battle these little critters in the gauntlet and all the other dwellers that happen to be in there too. And then you get some treasure and all that stuff.
Oh,
This looks awesome. This looks really cool.
Yeah, man. And it was on sale for the autumn or whatever
yeah.
just over the weekend.
the autumn,
I guess it was
the
like a
fall
turkey
sale,
special.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? Was that like a showcase thing, or was that the actual fall sale?
The Steam
No,
fall
the actual
sale.
fall sale is later. The fall sale is like end of October, early
November, right? It's usually closer to the American Thanksgiving.
It is.
The Christmas
So,
sale is
I'm like-
always crazy. That's the
So it's
one
some
I'm
showcase.
interested in.
But the other thing is the 2-Point Hospital, which I just bought, and it's got like 6
so good.
expansion packs.
Such a fun game.
Such a fun.
That is on sale with the Go Sega 60 anniversary sale on Steam. So if you look on Steam, you'll see like a huge back catalog of here's all of the 60th of the 60th anniversary of Sega. You get to jump in and grab these games. So I'm like, 2-Point Hospital with all the expansions? Yes, please. $30.
Giggity goo.
Take my money. But I've never played it. I've seen you play it, Dan, like a few times, and I'm sitting there going,
It's a
Sounds like
solid, dude. It's a solid game. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
super polished, super fun. It's quite literally the sequel to Theme Hospital. Like it's.
gotcha.
Well, okay. I shouldn't say quite literally. It's spiritually the sequel to Theme Hospital.
So who's the developer of that? Because I'm curious of the rest of their game catalog.
That's a good question. I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see here. Oh, come on. 2-Point Studios? Give me a break. That doesn't give me anything. Okay, so guess what? Guess what games this developer has made? Take a wild guess. They've made 2 games. Take a wild guess. 2-Point Hospital and
Super Duper Hospital Simulator.
Theme Hospital.
Oh,
They've
well,
made-
there you go.
They've made two games.
Theme Hospital is amazing. I love
Team Hospital is
that game.
great.
So
Yeah.
2-Point Hospital is I would say at this point quite literally the sequel to Theme Hospital because it's the
Oh, yeah.
only other game that developers made.
It's weird that they
So
didn't
that's
give it.
hilarious.
It's weird that
I'm
they
looking
didn't give it the Theme Hospital name.
Right? It would
It's
totally
probably
make
EA.
sense.
Well, EA owns Bullfrog, right? So it's probably a copyright thing. Because Bullfrog, I think,
it's-
published Theme
just-
Hospital,
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
and Bullfrog, who is like the best publisher ever, in my opinion. But whatever.
For some reason, this takes me to the Two Pine shopping plaza in Back to the Future. For
Oh yeah,
whatever reason.
or Lone Pine. Anyways, that's a whole nother Back to the Future discussion. Anyways,
I just did my rewatch of Back to the Future this week. That's super weird that you brought that up.
Yep.
Nice.
I haven't watched it in a
Back to the
while.
Future 1, best movie ever made. So we will.
Just a modest plug. A modest plug, yeah. Hey, Santino, what are you playing?
We all know what he's
I-
playing.
iRacing. It's always iRacing.
Nick, what are you playing?
Did you win a race yet?
And then,
I haven't won a race in a while.
so what was you placed what third in your last race?
That's pretty good.
Well, tell me what
They
you
make
told
you-
me.
they
Tell
make
me
you
what you
stand
told
up,
you.
I don't know, I do so
but
many
like
races
not
now.
as high as the other 2 guys, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, basically. Yep.
Well, Santino,
with
say what you were saying to me the other day, where it was like your ranking or
It's-
whatever.
It's technical. So there's like an
Yeah.
I rating system. So like basically there's a safety rating and an I rating. Your I rating is like let's say you start 10th and you finish first, then you get like a bigger I rating
Mhm.
jump from then. And then you get your safety rating, which is how many collisions you have. So if you make contact with someone else, you get like a 1x or up to a 4x, depending on how severe it is. Or if you go off track, or if you hit a wall, that kind of thing. And the matchmaking in it is really, really good because of this iRating. So you're always pitted against other drivers that are roughly around the same level of skill. Because when you're when you're racing, like a little twitch that's wrong, whatever, could like crash both you out. You know what I mean? So getting people that like know how to handle the car and stuff around you is important, but it doesn't always. It's not always the case, but
That's
there's
cool.
always those people
Sounds
that don't
like
know.
sounds like MMR, but for like racing.
MMR?
Yeah, matchmaking rank was like a Dota 2 League of Legends thing. Same
Oh,
exact
okay.
idea. It was like, but in that it was a hidden thing. So I don't know. I don't know
Mm.
how transparent they are with it in iRacing, but
Oh no,
I mean,
no,
a lot-
this is this is like right there. This like the
That's
SR and IR is like right there. So like
Good.
Wow.
yeah.
So iRacing
And,
is
like-
literally the RPG of racing games, like the
Yeah.
the D&D of racing games.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people like they take
most
like their
hardcore it
iRating
gets.
like so serious.
Yeah.
And I might be one of those people, but
Well, don't actual F1 racers and shit play that game?
yeah, so like during the pandemic, the lockdown and everything, when that started,
Yeah.
there was like literally most of the like suppliers of like direct drive steering wheels and pedals and stuff was like sold out and back ordered all over the place.
Oh yeah.
And there was like F1 drivers getting into like the races and stuff. Like it's gotten really, really popular this past year. But it's a really technical, like they say it's a video game, but like they use the same software to read telemetry off of like actual race cars to read the telemetry off of iRacing.
That's really
Like,
cool,
there's
man.
there's software called Motec, so you can literally just take your telemetry file from iRacing, load it into Motec, the same way the Lamborghini race cars in Italy would take their file and dump it into Motec, so you can see your ride height, your spring rates, your like literally down to like the millimeter. It's nuts how technical it can be.
No, that's ridiculous.
It's really cool. It's
That's
really like it's
ridiculous.
like basically nerding out for car lovers.
Like you.
Well, yeah, because you get other things like how the air is affecting your car and everything else from the guy. So I would love all that tactile feedback and that data that comes right at you. Oh,
You
Perfect.
make one click change on like your front wing, you will like directly feel that like after a few laps.
It'll help me. It'll help
And
me
then you'll
drive.
see it in the data.
Yeah. It'll help me drive
that?
my my Hyundai Accent more efficiently.
Definitely. Dan, do not sign up for iRacing.
When I adjust, can I adjust the camber of my 16-inch wheels?
Yes, you can.
Nick, are you there?
Anyways, that's what I've been playing.
I've been playing a little State of Decay
Ah,
and some Star Wars Squadrons. I was playing Squadrons with my kid on Saturday night, so I introduced him to it.
Oh.
He was just like, "Oh, this looks really familiar. I played this game like 2 years ago," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's very similar to Star Wars Battlefront. The TIE fighter kind of aerial battles and crap like that." And I said, "But this is a little bit more than that." So I started him off small. He did the practice runs just to kind of get affiliated with the controls.
Sure.
And he's like, why does he keep doing this? And I'm like, because there's more button controls than there are buttons on the joystick.
Yeah.
They didn't.
This is
plan
called a
this very well.
simulation. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. So we fumbled around with it because we were accidentally pressing buttons that caused the overlay to appear on screen. And when you do that, it stops you from being able to move completely and utterly. So
What?
I said, we got to remove all of that from the game. And after we did that, I said, hey, let's do some fleet battles.
Yeah.
And so we played for about 4 or 5 hours, actually, and it was really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
But State of Decay, yeah, I'm at the point where I think, unless other people are playing, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I mean, I did a little bit more and kind of did what I needed to do, but at the same time, it's the nuance of having like 4 people chaos in that game is.
Yeah, you know what? At this point, man, this is just me saying this, but like, State of Decay 3 has been announced, and it's like, yeah, it's coming. So it's like, I'd almost just wait for that, and like all of us jump into that at the same time and play online.
Nick, you let me know when you want to play, man. I'll be there.
Alrighty. Let's do it.
But to support what Dan was saying, yes, I will definitely get State of Decay 3 when that comes out.
It's gonna be, yeah. The fact that they were showing that off at the last show, I was like, yep, yes please, yes please. So I've got a little thing called Video Game 20 Questions. Are you guys interested in perhaps playing a little game that I've maliciously stolen from Damon Hatfield and IGN GameScoop?
Can it not just be like not be like an hour and a half long?
You know what? I would very much love that to not be an hour and a half long. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna actually set a timer.
You know what though? I think we've done this enough to know, like the first 7 questions are almost templated. Yeah,
like chess. You know your first like 4 moves, and then after that, like you have to modify yourself to the board.
It's like developer, region, like timeline.
See, we're already wrong. Yeah. But, okay. We know what we're doing.
And this is why it takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You guys are terrible.
Okay.
Okay, so the game.
Was this game released before 2000?
No.
All right. I can play.
Do we want to? So after 2000, that's interesting. So do we want to do East and West?
Yes.
Well,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Dan, is this a Western developer?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay, so Western.
Should we
So
ask,
North American.
console exclusive?
Yes, let's go console exclusive.
Western doesn't necessarily have to be North American. It could be European.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah. Okay. Good call. All right.
Dan, was this a console exclusive game?
No, it was not.
Okay.
Ooh. So PC and console. All right.
Do we want to jump into genre then? Like, I think we get locked up sometimes on trying to iron out what kind of genre it is, right? To kind of narrow it down quite a bit.
Do we want to narrow the
time frame again?
Yeah, time period. Thank you.
The years, the generation, or the even handheld versus like not handheld. Like, was this game available on a handheld system?
Yes. Go for it. Ask away.
Okay, Dan, was this game available on a handheld system?
No, it was not.
Sweet. So Vita's gone, Game Boy's gone, all mobile devices are gone. Awesome.
3DS, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to iron out another generation, like before 2010 or after 2010?
Wait, when did PS4 and Xbox One was 2013, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you only got
do we so would we consider this to be, are we still in current generation given the fact that the new generation is releasing in? So do we want to say, is it current generation specific?
Yeah, let's do current generation, and then we can ask like if it's part of a series or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Hey Dan, is this part of the current generation of systems? This game came out on a current gen console?
No, it did not.
All right, so I think it's got to be like, does it matter if it's even part of a series? Yeah, I guess it does because.
Yeah.
Well, can it still be PC?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a console exclusive.
PC's like what, 1960 to current?
Easy there.
Shut up.
Easy.
Ask if it's part of a series.
Yeah, I think these are all. What question are we on? I don't have the notes.
You're on 6 now.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think the
You got
first
lots,
8
you got
are going
lots.
to be the standardized questions.
Yeah.
All right. So Dan, was this game part of a series?
Yes.
Should we ask if it's a sequel?
Yeah, I think that's kind of almost part and parcel now. Dan,
Yes.
was this game part of a sequel? Or
Yeah.
is this game a sequel?
Yes.
Damn.
Alright. So not current gen, so before 2013, after 2000.
Do we want to eliminate like view, like first person versus third person versus isometric?
Let's start to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Wonder if he's pulling a Hatfield. Like, was this an arcade game as well? Is that what he's considering? Like, not console exclusive?
Yeah.
Hatfield had one of those a few weeks back.
Well, you know what? I think once we figure out like view and genre, it might be able to iron it out a little bit better. Do we want to say first person, or do we want to say? Because I mean, like we're already starting to get higher up in the tens, so or highest single digits.
Yeah. So why do we ask? Is it a first-person perspective, first-person game?
Or do you want to say first-person perspective or first-person shooter? I guess perspective is better then. So it doesn't eliminate the genre then.
Yep. Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Hey.
Was the camera angle in the first-person perspective?
Yes, I love the way you asked. First person perspective.
Okay.
So that could be anything from you eliminate any fighting game, so it can't be like a Street Fighter-esque whatever.
Or Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Almost all fighting games pretty much are eliminated there.
Should we ask if it was a shooting?
And you've eliminated NHL. You've eliminated like a lot of sports games that way.
All the isometrics. Yeah.
Shooting
Platformers are gone.
Should we ask? Well, not necessarily. Mirror's Edge was a platform.
Oh, true. Yes.
You want to ask if it was a shooting game though, because that would like help narrow out those Mirror's Edges and stuff like those.
Until he gives us a question like it might be a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, those are gimmies. Those ones are gimmies. When those happen, you're lucky to get them. You bastards.
It could be.
You bastards.
When we get a little bit more than just yes or no.
Okay, so I just finished watching Cobra Kai and
Nice.
The Karate Kid movies. So Daniel-san, is this a?
Is that why? That's the only reason.
This is the only reason. Is this a shooter?
Well.
Daniel-san.
Okay, when you say shooter, do you mean like they're shooting in the game? Like, what is a shooter? Like, it's
when you're in first perspective mode. It like I
a
guess
first-person shooter.
Like, do you have a gun in view all the time?
Like
A shooter.
is it like Doom? Is it like Doom? Shooting things.
No, don't narrow it for him. Let him weasel his way out of it. Is it a shooter?
All right.
It's a question. It's a legitimate question.
Yes,
You know it's a first-person game, and I'm asking if it's a shooter. I'm asking
Yes,
if
you
it's a
shoot.
first-person shooter.
Yes, you shoot guns in this game.
You dick. Okay.
all the time. I knew it. I was just waiting.
No. Okay.
Is it a is it a shooter? Yes.
Because
That's my answer.
Primary
That's my
objective-
answer. Is it a shooter? Yes.
Its primary objective is to shoot. That's what a shooter is.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. It's BioShock. This motherfucker picked.
Oh, you know, I was thinking the same damn thing.
Yeah.
You totally picked BioShock. He's like those fucking things that shoot out of your hands. Not shooting, but you know, there's shooting going on. Okay.
Does it count if you have a knife in your hand and the weapon is a melee weapon?
Yeah. Do we want to talk setting? Do you want to talk like, is it realistic versus sci-fi or versus unrealistic?
Ooh, that's a good question, man. Yeah, let's do it.
That way you get rid of like the modern military shooters versus the stuff like BioShock.
Well, and not even that. I mean, a game like Borderlands, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's not
Borderlands,
considered realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Okay,
Yeah,
go for it. You go.
Dan. is this a? Would you consider this photorealistic? Is that's not a question to you, Dan, but would you consider that more photorealism versus cartoony? What would be the better question to ask?
I just ask if it's like realistic.
Yeah, sure.
Shooter.
Dan, is this a realistic shooter?
I think I know what you mean. Like you're asking, is it like
Call of Duty versus Destiny?
Yeah. So does
whoa,
the game
wait. Call of Duty versus Destiny. That's a weird one because like if you talk about like advanced warfare
Titanfall versus Battlefield. Like I don't know how else to frame it.
Okay, well
Yeah,
that's different though.
War.
That's different though. Like Titanfall versus Battlefield. Titanfall is like those massive mechs do not exist.
Right.
Whereas everything in Battlefield so far at least has been realistic.
That's neither does the tech in any of like
all the Battlefield games are pretty realistic though.
Destiny 2.
Destiny's wacky as shit.
So if you're thinking of like Modern Warfare, when I say Call of Duty, you're thinking like Infinity War and bullshit like that. Then you would say no to that question.
Okay, well give me a specific Call of Duty example then.
4.
Call of Duty 4, like that's Modern Warfare, right?
Any of these. Modern Warfare.
Okay,
Modern
so
Warfare
sorry.
2.
Repeat like the question then, like the whole question overall.
Is it a realistic shooter?
Is it a realistic shooter? That's fuck. That's like a subjective.
No, it's not.
Okay, then no. It's not.
Or is it not Halo? Like there's like.
It's not. You know what? It's not Halo. It is not Halo.
Oh, should we ask? Have we mentioned it?
Is it Halo? It's not. Is the game Halo? It's not Halo.
You know what? Before.
Is it realistic? Is it? Wait. Is it? Is it a? What did you say? Is it a realistic shooter?
Realistic shooter. Yeah.
Is it a realistic shooter? No. The answer is no.
Okay. That's fine.
So I think before we get too far down this rabbit hole, we just start talking about different games and then ask the question, have we mentioned it already?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yes.
Well, we're just going to...
PUBG, Warzone, Titanfall.
Fortnite.
No, we said that already. Yeah.
Fortnite. Get out of here.
Wait a minute. No, it wasn't on the current gen console. Okay,
I don't think Dan would ever choose Fortnite. He'd be like, you know what? Never Fortnite. And then you just one time you go to throw him off the scent. No.
Okay.
I mean, choose the time. All right. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's done.
How about if we ask if there's RPG elements? You know, like you have to modify your character.
Yep.
Hey, Dan. Are there
That's my goal here
elements?
is to get Dan to hate
Yeah.
me.
Hey Dan, are there RPG elements in this game?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be one of those answers.
There are.
He said, yeah.
Good. Said yes.
All right. There's RPG elements, but it could still be BioShock.
Okay, now maybe we ask the cartoony one, right? Is it cartoony versus like 3D?
See, this is where I thought we were going to go with the realistic shooter, because to me, the cartoony versus
right. I meant the realistic
realism.
application of weapons.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's
sure.
Borderlands. No,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Borderlands like cell shaded cartoony versus Destiny, like I don't know, not that.
I mean, for all we know, it could be like a Fallout game. So
Yeah. Okay.
Dan, does this game utilize maybe cartoony-ish art style?
No.
Okay.
Because I mean, like that's even like No Man's Sky as well, right?
Yeah, totally. Oh
Alright,
man, if he calls that a shooter, I'm gonna flip.
Sorry guys, I gotta drop. Something come up over here.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right,
So-
cheers.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Good luck.
Man. Okay. So cartoony art style, no, which means it's kind of more realistic.
RPG
Yeah.
elements.
Do you want to ask if you like visit different planets? Because then you can like get out of like then like Borderlands 2 and 1 are good, but 3 isn't, and like Destiny isn't, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean
Fallout
that gets
isn't.
rid of like BioShock. That
Yeah,
gets rid of
BioShock.
Fallout.
Yeah.
all the standard Modern Warfares, like
Yep,
all
yep,
of
yep,
those, right?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Or do we even want to say is there space travel?
That's different planets.
You know, but visiting other planets, I think, is generic enough because space travel could be interpreted of no, you're not actually in a spaceship; you're just going to a planet.
That's it, exactly.
Dan, do you visit other planets in this game?
You do not.
Hmm. Okay.
Wait, is Bioshock taken on the same?
Yeah, it's all in one planet, Bioshock. But like Bioshock 1 was all, you know, in the one planet. Bioshock Infinite is in a different planet, but it's still all in one planet.
Right.
Yeah. That
Is
is
the one in the sky? In the sky.
Oh, that's Infinite.
Yeah, it's that one. That's Infinite.
I think that one dealt with different realities, but still on the same planet.
Yeah. Because you go and visit like Booker's like past, and he becomes the anyway. No spoilers.
Well, right at the very end, where you're in like a split dimension where
still
you're
all
seeing
on the
yourself
same
walk
planet.
around.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like Destiny where you go off on different planets, or Halo where you're off on different planets, stuff like that.
Right.
So no other planets. One planet in this game, anyway.
This is going to be like an obscure game.
This is tricky. Do we want to try and nail down? Oh, because it's not a console exclusive. Well, we could nail down the console. It would at least give us the right gen.
Well, it's in between 2000 and what 2000
2013.
Yeah. And it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Yes, first-person shooter. 2000.
Is it bad that I'm working and doing this at the same time?
Nope.
That's how I do most of my work. Okay.
Mirror's Edge, I'm thinking, even though that was a
No.
platformer, but that's more cartoony, right? Cell shaded.
But he said there's RPG elements. I don't think there were RPG elements in Mirror's Edge.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that's all like all the Wolfenstein-based games, like all the mod.
Wolfenstein have RPG? I don't remember that stuff in there.
No, because they didn't have any sort of character alterations.
No. At least not the old ones. Like maybe the new ones I haven't played, but maybe those ones did. But it's not a current.
It's Mass Effect again. No, it can't be. Never mind.
Again, not a shooter. If he calls that a shooter, I'd be very angry. Also,
It's space travel.
You've
yeah.
just you got 6 questions remaining, guys.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
you have lots of room.
We do.
Just saying.
Um,
We've
Dan-
already used up 14.
13.
was
6 questions and a guess.
yeah. Should we okay, so not a console exclusive, it could still just be like Xbox exclusive and PC.
Yeah,
What
that's the
would
difficult
What
thing.
would qualify for that though? I don't think there's anything. We could ask if it's first party, right? Or third party. I'm 99% sure it's gonna be third party. What other
I
first party
think-
games would fit this mold?
I think the time frame suggests that it's probably not a first party,
Yeah.
unless we're going to go the route of Xbox PC.
Oh, we could ask if the publisher and developer were the same if it was self-published.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Hey, Dan,
Yep.
were the publisher and developer the same entity?
No.
Okay, that's fine though. So that
How
eliminates.
many different games are self-published, though?
Well, that's like all the Fallouts are self-published.
Oh,
and,
Bethesda. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like that gets rid of all those. The Gearbox, like Borderlands, was self-published.
True.
Or no, wait, sorry, Gearbox was under 2K. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, right.
But anyway, it gets rid of some stuff. Okay.
Like I almost like with a lot of those games, you
But we
almost
already got rid of. Sorry.
there's like boss elements, right? Like
Mhm.
it doesn't eliminate anything if he says yes, there were. It eliminates some, like the Modern Warfare games, because there's really no boss element to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but he says it's not a realistic shooter. I guess although it could be a realistic, like Infinity War type shooter. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. Let's ask that.
hey Dan,
Yo.
are there any boss elements to this game?
Boss element, like, do you fight bosses, you mean?
Yeah, think of like Halo at, you know, middle level. You've got this one larger enemy that you've got to try to take down, or even with it.
Yeah. I would say yes.
Okay, that doesn't really help, but it does help in a little bit, right? Because most modern warfare games, they don't really have like a single or multiple bosses or multiple enemies that would qualify for that.
You gotta be careful there though, because like boss, fuck, because like first person shooters, like I don't know a single first person shooter that didn't have a boss.
A boss fight, though.
Like a
you know
boss
what I mean?
fight.
Like where you're like,
they all
oh,
have
level 1.
They
level
all have
2.
something.
Show me the one.
Yeah,
Show me the one in
they
Modern
disguise
Warfare
it differently.
2.
They all disguise it. That's the problem.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, modern warfare doesn't really have that traditional style of fight.
But then again,
right?
he said it's not realistic, so it wouldn't be Modern Warfare. Anyway.
But in this case, when you say like, is there a boss? Like, are there boss elements? Like, there are definitive boss elements in this game.
Okay.
So I'll give you that much. It's like,
but you know,
there's no
RPG.
disputing it. There's no there are
ambiguity.
bosses. Yeah, it's like obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I do
15.
have a
That's
hard
15,
stop
by
at
the way.
11. Yeah, I have a hard stop at 11. So.
Oh God, I hope we're done by 11.
I gotta join a call with my team in Bangalore.
Of course you do.
It happens.
Hope we pay extra.
You getting overtime,
No.
Nick? Okay, so guys, you got four questions and a guess. You got some pretty good fucking guesses so far. This is you can.
Oh, hey, Dan.
Hey.
Did we mention this game already?
Nope.
Fuck.
Damn it.
He said we had some pretty good guesses so far, so I took that to mean we guessed them already.
Sorry, not
You wanted
guesses,
this-
questions.
Oh, you mother.
Whenever you guys would like a hint, let me know.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was part of this.
I didn't think we did hints.
Well, we're
You
not
want
unless you are doing so poorly. You require a hint.
I could use a hint.
You're like, yep, we're doing poorly. Need a hint. Give me.
Well, we got 3 questions and a guess.
Come on, you can do it. You're so close.
The
Okay.
list is outrageous.
It's pretty nuts still, yeah.
Like, do we want to say, do you fight aliens in this game?
Sure. Yes.
All right. Hey Dan, are you fighting any sort of aliens in this game?
Jesus Christ. This will be.
Okay, so here's the easy question: are they native to Earth?
This is a really hard question to answer. You know what? You fight. At one point in the game, you fight an alien, but mostly they are humans. I'll give you that. That's a double whammy right there.
That's a double.
I mean, that could be like a Fallout right there, right? I mean, like they're not really human anymore; they're mutants, right? And then you've got other non-native creatures because the universe is obviously not, related to the universe we know. So, but that eliminates like all the Battlefield stuff, because I don't think there would be anything non-human, and that includes all the Modern Warfare stuff.
Yeah, but that was all gone with a realistic shooter. I would hope.
Yeah.
You fight an alien. Mostly humans.
You know what? You guys are struggling. I'm gonna give you a little bit more of a hint. Let me reel back to that. Have you mentioned that question?
Yeah.
Like you technically haven't. You technically haven't.
Okay. Okay.
How is that a
fucking
hint?
help?
How is that a hint?
Okay.
RPG.
Do you want me to spell it out for you?
No, it's okay. Technically, haven't.
First person.
Far Cry.
God damn it!
No, there's no aliens.
At this point, it does get painful. I'm not gonna lie. I love the power, but it does get painful. You felt the power last time,
I
Richard.
have. It felt great. I gotta say, felt really good.
Beamish, that was
It was such a good
Willie Beamish, you son of a bitch. Everyone's played it too. Everyone knows Willie Beamish. Everyone loves it. Everyone's played it. You
Yeah,
son of a
all
bitch.
did.
Question
Okay.
18. What have you got for me, boys?
All right, so it's a Western developer, console exclusive.
No, wait, no,
sorry,
no.
not a console exclusive.
Whoa.
Not a
No.
current gen game, part of a series. It's a sequel, so it's not the first one. We've got a first person shooter. It's not realistic. There are RPG elements. It's not cartoony. You don't visit other planets, so it all happens on one planet. Third party publisher developer, or at least, arm's length publisher developer. And you fight
Part of
an
a series.
alien, but mostly humans.
Yeah, part of a series, but not the first one.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of like a game that's really got RPG elements to it, though.
That's first person shooter. So that's
Because, I mean-
it's definitely a PC game.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
here's the
first
funny
person.
thing. I mean,
What about Deus Ex?
you know what? I just saw that on the list. But is that current gen, though?
No.
PS4, Xbox One, yeah.
No.
Deus
no,
Ex.
No. It's Xbox
PS3.
360.
The first one and the second one. So the second one, what was the name of the second one?
Mankind Divided.
Divided.
Thank you. Now, would it be a shooter? He would have hemmed and hawed over that, right? Because there's definitely guns in there, but you can also just fucking break open a wall with your claw hand and rip a dude through a fucking wall.
Yeah, but there's no alien aspect to it. It's all.
I don't know.
Oh.
I never finished that game. There could be one alien in that game that I don't know about. Should we Google, is there an alien in Mankind?
I did
Divided?
finish that game, and there is no alien element to that game.
all right. Fuck.
That's
Uh,
right.
We could ask if you play as a human. Are there any games you play as an alien? I don't think there would be. Fighting humans. No, never mind.
We don't relate to aliens, so.
Yeah.
Well, and because I was looking at Alien Isolation as well, or like some of these horror-based games.
Let's ask if there's multiplayer.
Oh yeah, okay. Dan, is there a multiplayer?
Give me give me a minute so I can look up.
Oh,
Actually, no.
That means he hasn't played it.
Does it though?
That means he hasn't played. Yes.
You know,
You
that
would
almost.
know.
I almost feel like that's a
You
good
know what? I don't
qualifier
think-
question. Dan, have you played this game before? I'm not asking the question. I'm just.
That is a
thinking.
good qualifier, though.
You know what? I'll give you that one for free. Yes, I have played it. Is it multiplayer? That's the real question, though, and the answer is no.
Oh, interesting.
So
interesting.
so a single player first person shooter with
Jesus
RPG elements made between 2000 and 2013, developed by a North American developer.
Like I'm thinking, like Half-Life or a Half-Life-esque game, because I mean, I guess those are aliens, so they.
Yeah, there are lots of aliens.
I'm gonna build a Visual Basic GUI interface to scour and scrape the internet to.
Good way to do it.
You're like, I'll be
Yeah,
back
so
in
this way we
3.5
can just, like,
hours. I'll be back in
We can
3.5
just
hours.
search. So we can just search in those terms, and then it comes up, right? Like
Yep.
games made.
You gotta have the
2000.
data, but the database has to match up with these parameters, though.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, that's what the Visual Basic GUI interface is gonna do.
I almost want to
saying
ask, like,
Visual
if-
Basic GUI interface. For fuck's sake.
Say it more. I'm almost
Okay,
there.
okay, say it one more time. Say it one more time. Just say it one more time, Santino.
Visual Basic GUI interface.
Jesus God, it's all sexy and gross. It's fucking nasty. Ugh.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
next.
we got one more question and then a guess. I mean, that was a good question, but
It's
it didn't help
disgusting.
me
It's a
because I can't
disgusting
think of.
guess.
Shut up. Because I couldn't think
No,
of
sorry,
anything.
Santino, not you. So yeah, you got one more question and a guess,
Because,
fellas.
this is almost sort of like Stalker, Metro, like.
Ooh, could be.
Because I mean, like those have RPG elements to it, but I don't think there's any sort of alien per se
Stalker.
in them. Yeah, certainly not in Metro. Post-apocalyptic, right? So, but that's not to say I think there's like an alien ship or something like that in one of those games that you can get like a decent gun out of, right? And so the aspect of, well, you don't really, that alien question kind of throws it into play there. I don't know. It's a stretch, obviously. The list of first-person shooters that I'm looking at is obscene.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, good lord. There's got to be a better way of filtering this. That actually makes sense.
Do we want to
Sorry, I cut
ask
out there for a
if
second.
it's okay? Do you want to ask if the people? Oh, how do we ask this? If like the people behind the game are well known, you know what I mean, like John Romero style, like well known.
Oh, is it a well-known developer?
Or like the people specifically, like yeah, well-known developer would be good, but it is part of a series and it's not a sequel. So, oh sorry, it is a sequel rather. Like it's not the first one. So like they're probably well-ish known. But I'm talking about like the personalities at the studio. Like the guy, obviously bad example because I can't remember the guys who did Respawn now anymore. I used to know Vince Zampella and the other guy. You know what I mean? Like I know some names. Like, is this a name that you would just know? Like, oh, it's that guy's game, or is it just like, no, it's the studio's game? Like Hammerhead made a Call of Duty. Like I don't fucking know anybody at Hammerhead.
How many questions do I have left?
One.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why I'm asking.
It's a Hail Mary, boys.
This could be like a Killzone game, right? I mean, like.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But that would fit the qualifier of like we don't know anybody who made Killzone. Like.
Yeah. But I mean, outside of like the 2 or 3 people I would know, I mean, I don't think it would narrow anything down for me. Go ahead. I mean, at this point, I don't think it's going to help, but I mean, go ahead and ask it anyway.
All right, Dan. Is there a known person behind this game?
A
celebrity game developer, if you will.
It's sort of like it's not. We're not talking
Shigeru.
We're not talking like. There's like varying levels. It's like. It's not.
Would I like as somebody who's into the industry,
like massively into it? Yeah, I'd say so.
Fuck. It's gonna make this sting even more when we don't get it. All right.
So you got a game guess, boys. That's it.
I haven't actually pulled up a list yet, but I'm gonna pull up a list for our guests.
It'd be like Overwatch. No, because
I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna be generous. Give you guys 60 seconds.
Okay.
I don't know. I think at this point I am so lost.
Okay, Nick, you guess your favorite first-person shooter game that matches some of these criteria.
Oh God. I don't even have one. I'm not even a first-person shooter type of person.
Okay.
Like I said, I like Deus Ex, but obviously I don't think that makes the criteria.
I'm gonna guess. Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Wow.
Is that your guess?
Yep.
You are incorrect.
No shit. Damn it.
How abstract is this game? Like, is it
exactly?
Is it?
You guys, listen.
Hold on, before you even ask, I'm wondering if it's even worth it to ask about sales. Was it a highly receptive game?
That would have been a good one.
Like Metacritic score, like was it just a bomb? Did it do well?
That would have been a really good one.
You guys are not gonna like this.
Of course we're not.
Like at all. You're gonna be very mad. But I've answered every question accurately. Yep.
Bullshit. Wrong. Fake news.
Would you like to know the game?
Lame
I'd like to
mainstream
know
media.
the video.
The game is BioShock Infinite.
Bullshit.
I fucking mentioned Bioshock Infinite.
He did
No, you
say
didn't.
Infinite. He did say Infinite.
I
Yeah, he
said
did.
We did.
Infinite
We talked about it.
versus-
I said, is it the one in the clouds? Which one's the one in the clouds? And he said
I
Infinite.
said
No, you
Infinite.
didn't.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
you
didn't
did.
hear it?
Nope.
You're a
Didn't
bullshitter,
hear it.
man. You
Plausible
rigged the fucking game.
deniability.
Fake
I'm gonna
news.
go back. I'm gonna
Wrong.
go back and listen.
You know what?
I didn't hear him. I didn't hear Infinite. If I heard him, I've had
That
Infinite
is fake news.
on my second screen the entire night.
Okay.
If I heard Infinite,
hold on,
I would have
hold on,
been
hold on,
like,
hold on. Where's the alien?
there it
aspect
is.
of-
We talked about Infinite where he visits multiple timelines, but it all still happens on the same planet. That's why I asked for
And
the
I
multiple
mentioned
planet
there's one in the clouds.
Oh.
And I mentioned the clouds. and he
yeah,
said-
right.
Oh, what a.
question.
He fights the songbird, which is an alien.
Where's the alien crap in this
which
game?
alien
The
was-
songbird.
The songbird's not an alien.
Oh, sorry. What is it? It's a human.
It's a machine.
Oh, come on. That you're saying the songbird is a man-made machine?
I have to relook up the songbird. I don't remember what.
You're talking about the giant black one that follows her around?
The songbird's the end boss in the game.
the end boss.
Like that's
Yeah,
the boss.
I think
of
it
the
was a
game.
machine. It was a machine.
Yeah, songbird.
I don't know. I think Dan rigged the game.
Yeah,
Well,
look at that. Much
we-
like the Big Daddy, the songbird is a combination between a machine and a human.
Nah, Dan, you really borked this one. I gotta say.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Part of the mainstream media. Fake news.
I'm at this point. I'm gonna scroll through every minute of audio. I'm not gonna do that. to see.
It
if
was a
anyone
pleasure.
mentions-
I've got to drop off for another call, anyways. And actually do work to try to make $1, even though I'm not being paid overtime. Enjoy. Thanks, guys. That was fun. Enjoy
See
your
ya,
evening.
buddy.
See you, dude.
And then
Okay.
there were 3.
So the songbird not being an alien, that part is my fault. I was like, how the hell is that a robot?
No, it's okay.
How is that a robot?
It's not. It's not okay, Richard.
I mean, the entire thing is like animatronics and robots. Like you would think, I would default to robot
Songbird.
first.
Songbird, a large robotic bird-like creature who has been both Elizabeth's... Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. I thought that goddamn thing was an alien.
Definitely not. Mm-hmm. I love that game.
Oh, it's
That game was incredible.
phenomenal. I think I've beat all... What, 3 Bioshocks? Is there 3 now? Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite, right?
There were 3, yeah. Did you ever play the Minerva's Den?
No,
DLC?
I didn't, but
I really
apparently
wanna
it's
play that one.
incredible.
I've heard really good things about it.
That's Bioshock 2 DLC, right?
That is Bioshock 2, yes.
And Bioshock 2 was weird because it was like a slate. Well, it was a linear game. It was like you were on the train the whole time.
Yeah.
Just going forward.
That was a weird one.
I liked it, but it was like, this is really weird.
Wasn't on the same level as 1 for me, but
Oh,
it was
1
still
was
good.
1 and Infinite were just phenomenal.
Yeah, Infinite was incredible.
But yeah, I could have sworn. Like if you're saying you mentioned it, you're probably right. But I honestly don't remember you saying it because my ears were perked the whole time.
That's all good.
And you're.
So there you go. There's a massive down note for this episode. I probably screwed everything up.
It's okay. As soon
Anyways.
as you said, like, oh, I bet you, and even John was like, oh, I bet you it's Infinite. I was like, I'm totally thinking, or Bioshock rather. We both said Bioshock, but
Bioshock was mentioned a number of times, but I was like,
was.
I'm waiting for Infinite. I'm waiting for Infinite. Nah, I swear to God, no one said Infinite.
Okay, we only.
That's why I was
had a
like
conversation about the infinite parallel universes.
the infinite parallel in universes.
You were drunk. It's fine.
That's okay. I'm always
We
drunk.
love you. Yeah.
We love all of you too.
It's a better way to be.
Good night, people.